Hello and thank you for joining us today. My name is Ludmila Golovine and I'm the President and CEO of MasterWord Services. Lisa, today the question is, can you give us some tips that we may be able to use to manage through the intensity and the anxiety that we may be experiencing today, that we may also be able to share with others and help them deal with the situation?
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Dion and I am the president of the Synergetic Play Therapy Institute, and I want to give you 5 ways that you can regulate right now through all of this intensity that we are experiencing. So there's a lot out there right now about what we can be proactively doing for self-care and taking care of ourselves. But I want to give you 5 things that you can do in the moment when you're feeling the intensity and the activation inside your physiology. Okay, let's start with number 1. So the first one has to do with your breath. Your breath right now is your greatest ally. So when we start to get dysregulated and activated, our breathing changes, and the patterns start to go like this. And so the very first thing that we can do is to start to move towards more regulated breathing. So to start with, as we start to experience this, notice the dysregulation and then begin to elongate your exhalation. So maybe breathe in for the count of 2 and then exhale for the count of 4. So we are slowly starting to relax and slow down the breathing pattern. Once we're able to do that, then move into regulated breathing, where your inhalation and your exhalation are in equal count. So maybe at that point, it's you're breathing in, maybe the count of 2 or 3, and you're exhaling also for the count of 2 or 3. And make sure that when you're doing these breaths that you're doing full belly breathing. Okay, that's number 1. All right, number 2. Let's go ahead and call number 2 push. And that's a literal thing, push. So actually push on your body. So push on your arms, push on your legs. Maybe you are in the middle of a challenging conversation. Push, squeeze. When we start to feel really dysregulated and activated, we can sometimes have a bit of an out-of-body experience where we're not really connected to ourselves. The act of pushing on our body, even pushing on our head, this one's my favorite. What we're doing is we're bringing in proprioceptive input into our body, which tells ourselves, I'm here, I'm in my body, and it has a huge regulatory experience for us within. So push. All right, number 3 is also a bit of a version of push, but it's not quite pushing. And this is where you take your ring finger and your thumb and you put them right here on the sides of your nose, right there. And then you're gonna take this finger and put it right here. So if you can see what I'm doing. And then breathe. This right here has a really centering experience. So if you're feeling highly anxious, you're feeling overwhelmed, try this one to be able to connect with yourself in the moment. Okay, number 4 has to do with cold water. So if, again, you're feeling highly dysregulated, splash cold water on your face. Maybe even put a cold towel on your face. If you have the ability to do so, if you're really dysregulated, go and jump in the shower and take a shower, splash water all over you. The experience of the cold water actually has a relaxing experience on our activation in our system. Okay, and then the last one, number 5, is name it. Just name your experience out loud. One of the things that can intensify the dysregulation in our system is holding it in and not naming it. So the simple act of being able to say, I'm overwhelmed, I feel afraid, I'm scared, I feel lost, I'm sad. The simple act of just being able to name your inner experience out loud actually, we know this from research, actually has a relaxing and a centering experience, again, within our own physiology. And of all of them, the most important one is the first one, which is the breath. So always remember, your breath is your fastest way back home.